Welcome to the Silver Sniper School, where we teach you all the fundamentals of using the AWP and becoming a great AWPer in later stages of the game. You see, AWPing in Silver is easy. You aim and you shoot, but you can unwillingly form some bad habits in the Silver stages when you start learning the game, and those bad habits will get you killed and make you an ineffective AWPer at higher skill levels. So we are here to help you build on the right principles and help you become that fearsome force that is a decent AWPer. So in episode 1 we will be going over the most basic elements of AWPing, that is the killing part, landing the shot, more specifically your aim and crosshair placement, how these two interact and how to train them both. So when AWPing, the aim part is a lot less complex than with rifles, as a lot of times your target will be bigger. You can land a shot anywhere in the torso or head for an instant kill. Also, you do not have to worry about recoil and spray patterns as with rifles. One of the things to keep in mind, however, is that when you go into your settings, you will see that your scoped sensitivity is not the same as your normal sensitivity. There was a big discussion on Reddit a while back where someone apparently figured out the perfect ratio to set the sensitivity to if you would like the rifle and the AWP sensitivity to be the same. However, when I went through all the pro AWPer guys like Simple, Woxy, Kenny S, they had their zoom sensitivity at the default 1 level. However, if any of you tried a 0.81 sensitivity, I would love to hear your feedback how that worked out for you in the comment section down below. However, as for me, I'm happy to keep to 1 as I know that your muscle memory for AWPing can develop decently and separately from your rifle muscle memory. Like when your fingers learn to type on a keyboard versus playing the piano. Both uses the same mechanics but different sets of muscle memory. And that is also a very good argument for why you need to actually practice with the AWP to become good at AWPing, and not simply to expect that because you are good at rifles you will automatically be good with the AWP. One of the biggest misconceptions that I see among new silver AWPers is this idea that you keep the crosshair very close to the corner. And this is understandable as you see the pro players doing this, and also you figure the closer to the corner you hold, the more quickly you will get off that shot and that kill. However, each of us do have different reaction times and reflexes. The reasons the pros can do this is because of the way their opponents tend to peek out. Also insane amount of hours of practice and also just general game sense, where they no longer have the few milliseconds of surprise when someone suddenly peeks out at a certain angle, but instead they can react immediately. Another thing to keep in mind is this. If you, for instance, have a 300 millisecond reaction time and you keep the crosshair close to the corner and an enemy runs past, your shot will be too late and you will miss the shot. No new information there, we all know this. However, something important to remember is if you have, let's say, some more insane reaction time like 180 milliseconds and you keep your crosshair too wide, you will fire the shot prematurely, also missing the shot. So even if you have good reaction times but bad crosshair placement, another guy with standard reaction time and good crosshair placement in terms of personal reaction time will outplay you in terms of consistency as an AWPer. Unfortunately, map knowledge also plays a role, as you will have to know what corners the enemies tend to run past and which ones they peek out at, and also at what angle they are crossing your line of sight. This will however only come with experience as you play the maps. Now Brainiac, enough theory, just show us how to figure this out and how to practice it. Let's get into it. The following training routine is designed for silvers and players new to AWPing. It is also designed around the knowledge that not everybody wants to spend hours on end just on training. We know that average Joe had limited amount of time. The aim of this routine is to get good results in the minimum amount of time. The routine should also be upgraded when you reach the Nova stages. We are aware. We know. Flick shot training are not included and will be handled separately in the following episode. Okay, so pretty standard, less exciting aim training. I know you'd all like to do those flicks, but great flick shots begin with good crosshair placement and aim. And while flick shots will get you a lot of flashy kills, your bulk of AWP kills will come from the consistency that good aim and crosshair placement brings. So let's train this first. We start off by opening our old favorite aimbots. Come over to our trusty control panel, hit the bullet holes button and hit that long range button. What this does is it opens up a big section to the back, and now you close off the 2 sections to the sides and the one at the back, forcing the bots to respawn in the shooting range. Now the training is very easy. Simply get out your AWP, leave those chickens alone and go get that 100 kills. For now, just keep your zoom to single zoom, as you will be using this for most of the time in game. So go ahead and just get your brain and muscle memory used to getting the crosshair onto the enemies at different distances. Now after you've slaughtered the first 100 bots, close off the long range and open an additional side of the arena to 5. Murder some bots in cold blood just to have some of them spawn to the side as well. Now what we do is practice shooting one bot to the left and one bot to the right, as this will help your brain to transition between your scoped and unscoped sensitivity levels, and also this trains your brain to aim without a crosshair, as it learns that when you are more or less in this area you can zoom in as you are close to the target, as you don't want to scope in when the target will be outside of the scope when you zoom in. So just do that for 100 kills. The reason I swap weapons between each shot is first of all that it irritates me that after I shot with the AWP, when the animation finishes, that the AWP scopes back in automatically. Also, it is good practice to get into, as in higher skill levels you want to get into the habit of quickly getting off an angle after you shot from it. So it has 100 kills alternating between left and right. Okay, this is the training center. It is a bit older map with an outdated UI, but it is still useful for all our purposes. So first you shoot the weapon button to select the AWP. Then shoot the home button above you. Go to the settings and add yourself an extra bot. Now go back. First exercise is to get your personal crosshair placement based on your reaction time. So what we have here is this double doors kind of setup, where you can change how wide you want it to open. If you are still in silver or just starting out with the AWP, then I'd suggest starting it all the way open and the bots running with AKs, not with knives. Now what you do is you stand in the middle and find your angle and distance from the corner that you are comfortable with. And just get 10 kills to just feel more comfortable. Now when you are feeling a bit more comfortable with the distance, just move on over to the first platform on the right, to also just get used to the feel of shooting from a bit of an elevation and at an off angle. Then move over to the left hand side and also get 10 kills from there. After that, do it from up top on both sides as well, to really get comfortable with an off angle and higher elevation, as this can sometimes feel a bit weird to shoot from these type of angles. And that's it for this exercise. 50 bots to get your crosshair attuned to you personally. Now for the next exercise, just go and add yourself some extra bots. And for the next practice, we are going to practice shooting at elevations. You don't really come across this so much when you play rifles, but when you are AWPing, a lot of time you are, for instance, up top in heaven in overpass, or maybe in the window in the mid at cache where you are shooting down into the middle. Or sometimes you are counter AWPing from the bottom and you need to shoot upwards into the window. So on this training map, when you shoot the button on the side, you can change your elevation, and then you can practice at these moving targets shooting upwards or downwards. Just do about 25 kills from both elevations, just to get over the awkwardness of shooting at the vertical elevation. And that's it for this exercise. Now for the last section, simply open up our fast aim reflex map. Links will once again be in the description below. First of all, get yourself your trusty pistol and AWP loadout. Then reduce the amount of bots to the minimum, which will be 1 bot left in this case. Then for silver purposes, maybe increase the bots 3 times to have 4 in total. Come over to this button and shoot it, as this will allow you to exit the cubicle and run onto the shooting range. Now find yourself one of the boxes in the corner and protect it with your life. In this exercise you can alternate between your AWP and pistol as needed and just have some fun with this. Get 50 or 100 kills depending on how much you are enjoying this. And this is also a useful and a quick warm-up routine before you jump into a game for those days that you don't have time for training. And that's it for the lesson. I'd really suggest for you to just give this a good go for about a week or so, just to get the basic fundamentals down. And in the next lesson we will be upgrading our training routine to a better integrated system. We will let off the crosshair placement training and start practicing our flick shots, as this will really give you the edge over the average AWPer. So remember to hit that subscribe and bell notification so that you do not miss out on that. Till then, class dismissed.